Good morning, beloveds. For a minute, I thought Foster was going to leave me hanging. He was tucked up in the bed and had no interest in coming. And then I guess he heard me in here talking to Gabby, and so, I don't know. It's kind of one of those quiet mornings. Tom was up and gone before I got up this morning. And I had some stuff to do, and so I got out of bed actually a little early, and walked out, and there's a cold front just racing through, which dropped the temperature a couple of degrees. It's still going to get up to 80 today, but at least the morning's in the mid 60s. And so I got up and knocked around, did some stuff, realized I needed to find something, and I was like, oh, I don't even know where this is. So, yeah, it was raining, but when I was watching the weather, drizzling, he said the clouds are so low, and with the dew point is where it was, it's the radar's not picking it up, but I was like, but it's wet out there. So I was kind of grateful it was my day of rest. Like, it would have been nice because the temperature's good out there, but it's damp. So, probably going to be a muggy day. Well. All right, it is February 24th. Our title is Moving On. The first quote is, commit thy way unto the presence and trust also in it, and it shall bring it to pass. And that is Psalm 37:5. The practice of science of mind calls for a willingness to let this inner spirit guide us, and with the conscious knowledge that the law of the presence is perfect. I think I like that. I asked in the board meeting for a gender neutral word for Lord. And Jesse gave me one. He suggested the presence. And I like it. So we'll see if that works it. I'm getting really good at the gender neutraling. And then there are a couple of words that I stumble over, and Lord being one of them. So there you go. If you're looking to gender neutral something. Presence. All right, let's on to the reading. One of the most difficult things we do is to consciously decide where we need to be or what we need to do with our life. When we want to change a present experience, such as a job we have outgrown, we may not know what other way of expressing is best for us. At such time, we may be tempted to emphasize all the unpleasant aspects of the job rather than just giving ourselves permission to leave the place where we are in order to expand and grow in consciousness. To assist us at these times, we need to look within ourselves for the divine guidance to direct to our highest and greatest good. We may consider alternatives such as leaving the job before we have found another one, staying with it while training for something else, or finding another job and then resigning. But we must never tell the divine how to do its perfect work. Instead, we must turn within ourselves to the one that knows all and allows it to operate in our highest good. God makes no mistakes, never misguides us. Divine intelligence knows the best way, and as we trust it, even when we appear to be making little progress, it supports us. As we sort through ideas, we keep the best and discard the rest. And then from the best, we choose the situation we are ultimately guided to take, being willing to do all that is necessary to fill that position. As I make daily choices, I accept guidance from on high. The answer to every question is already known in mind, and I joyously accept its revelation. My greatest good is always attracted to me, and I recognize it. And that is M.M. Marilyn Mooney. Pretty sure it's Marilyn Mooney. Yes, Marilyn Mooney. Okay. So I was really caught by one particular line in here. Okay. So it's not this. I'm going to use the line in front of it first. When we want to change a present experience, such as a job we've outgrown, we may not know what other ways of expressing is best for us. Okay, this is the line that got me. At such times, we may be tempted to emphasize all the unpleasant aspects of the job rather than just giving ourselves permission to leave the place where we are in order to expand and grow in consciousness. All right. And I think that we have this tendency to do that, not just with jobs, with situations, with people, relationships, all of that. It's like it's not that we're unhappy. It's not that we're unhappy. It's just, okay, this situation, this job, this relationship, whatever it is, no longer fits us. And it's time to move on. And rather than just being willing to let go, we start to pick it apart. It's like we've got to give ourselves this reason to leave. And we've got to make it unassailable why we want to leave. And it's like, you don't have to do that. If you have simply outgrown the situation, then you can just look at the situation, thank it for what it has contributed to your life and to your expression of the divine, and move on. You don't have to make it bad and wrong. And I say that because we do that a lot in relationships. We do that, especially with romantic partners. But sometimes even with friends, it's like we'll do one of two things. We'll either do everything in our power to save the situation because we don't want to be wrong, or we will pick the situation apart again because we don't want to be wrong. And yet we're not wrong. It's just we have grown beyond. Sometimes we are in situations where a little bit of work will absolutely make a dramatic change, and the situation, we haven't outgrown the situation. We haven't expanded beyond the situation. And so maybe we just need to do a little tweak. But I would suggest, if you find yourself just picking a situation apart, be it a job, be it a relationship, be it a friendship, be it, just a situation that you're in. If you find yourself just really picking it apart and finding every negative little thing about it, maybe you need to consider moving on, which is the title of the thing. People grow and they change, and sometimes it's time to let go. And we're bad at that. We can be really bad at that. And, it is what it is. And I'm going to tell you that people drift apart. And sometimes they drift back together. But if it's time to let go of the situation, be like the trees in the fall and just let it go. They don't make the leaves wrong for being done. They just let them go into their next, job in nature, because trees they fertilize the soil and provide homes for the next generation of bugs. You may not want to hear that, but butterflies. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're doing a lot of complaining, then just really look at the situation and go, is it time to let it go? Is there something that I can do to fix it? Or am I just not feeling well and I need to go take a nap? Because sometimes that it can be just that. I had a situation with a job, and I liked the job, but I was unhappy with some of the situations that were going on around it. And so I wrote a treatment to help me, to guide me in whether or not I needed to let it go or not. And then I went to a new moon ritual and, burned the treatment, and literally let it go, and ended up that there were a couple of personnel changes around me, and suddenly my job was better again. So being willing to move on can sometimes provide the energy to allow the change to happen. So I don't know what Marilyn's idea was, but I do think that that's one of those things where If you're looking at a situation and you're not happy, then you got somewhere to go, especially if you find yourself complaining a lot about it. Go to the source of your own being, go to that inner source and say, all right, have I grown beyond this? Is it time for me to move on? And if it's time for me to move on, what's my next expression? And then get out of the way. We don't get to choose the how, but we do want to listen, because we're going to hear things. We're going to hear things. And then we get to decide what's best for us. So, she's got that great treatment down there about letting go and moving on. As I make daily choices, and that's the secret. You every day you open your eyes, you get to make a new decision on how your day is going to go. I accept guidance from on high. The answer to every question is already known in the mind, and I joyously accept its revelation. My greatest good is always attracted to me, and I recognize it. All right. I think she was targeted mostly at a job, but like I said, sometimes we want to look at the relationships in our lives, because sometimes we grow past them. So, I'm going to go back to that line. I would say the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to give ourselves permission to leave a place, a job, a relationship, anything, where we are in order to grow in consciousness. All right? Give yourself permission. You may not choose to leave, but give yourself permission to do so if that's what you need. All right? Sometimes we stay in situations far past where they're good for us because we think that people or places may be harmed by us, harmed by us leaving. But really, honestly, if we're no longer growing, no longer expanding, we need to get out of the way and make room for the next person who can fill that position, which will grow it beyond, and we can move on into our next expansion. So where you are won't be left in the cold. Okay? Where you are will not be left in the cold if you have grown beyond what you're doing. There's somebody waiting to grow into the position that you're in. Whatever it is. Okay? So that's the mission today. Give yourself permission to move on. Even if you don't. I think it's that act of giving yourself permission sometimes can make the change that you need. So give yourself permission. All right. That is the mission today. The second part is the same one I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever that looks like. Big, small, doesn't matter. Point is to practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. And more importantly, you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. I mention it every day. It literally is a spiritual practice. When you practice love, when you practice compassion, when you practice kindness on yourself, you are creating a well-worn path to the infinite source of love, kindness, and compassion. Every day we meet people that need a little extra. When we practice on ourselves, we create a bank so that we have extra for them. And more importantly, as I said, we connect to the infinite source. I like to use the word that we are divine channels. We are the divine channels through which enter that love, kindness, and compassion enters into this world. The more practice we do, the better we're going to be at it. That's why I suggest it every day. Every day. Why I tell you it's a spiritual practice. And it can be as simple as taking a deep breath before we speak. It can also look like taking a walk. It can look like taking a nap. It can look like choosing your words carefully. Or sometimes it looks like opening your mouth and letting the divine speak through you. Sometimes it looks like eating dessert first. I'm all about self-care, but it is also love, kindness, and compassion. It's about making room for joy. All right. And that looks like eating dessert first. It looks like wearing the nice clothes. It looks like going and doing that special thing that is special, but doing it more often. Your life is a special occasion. I encourage you to treat it as such. All right. Don't save the good stuff. Take care of yourself and make room for joy. Make room for joy. Share joy when you can. Share joy when you can. You know, this life can be messy, but it can also be juicy. And so when we have the opportunity to share joy, I am all for that. All right. So I also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body, unless today is your day of rest. I got a lot done on my day of rest, so I'm happy about that. I do encourage you to drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain will work better, especially if you're going to give yourself permission to leave, whatever it is. Hydration. Drink plenty of water. Go drink an extra cup while you're making that decision. I do encourage you to get early in your day, bright light. Yep, there's no sun. Hadn't been for a couple of days now. So artificial works. When you get that early in your day bright light, it's called a circadian rhythm. It's a hormone rhythm. When you help to reset it early with that bright light, that will help you have more energy during the day and sleep better at night. It is science. You can look it up. And then last but definitely not least, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. And I'm talking about giving yourself permission to leave. Well, I am also going to remind you that you give yourself permission to be in heaven. It is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Why wouldn't you want to give yourself permission to be in that? And here's the thing about that. Nobody can give it to you. And nobody can take it away from you. Once you learn to do it for yourself, your life becomes better, because once you learn to create that mindset, create that consciousness, you can do it anytime. Practice, practice, practice. Okay. And heaven ceases to be a place and can become any place. And then it can become every place. Can you imagine what the world would look like if all of us learned that? That's what Science of Mind is after. All right, moving on. So, and as I like to remind you, take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. Okay. I think, yeah. I'm in the social media part. I remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. Please feel free to like and share and subscribe and do all that stuff. If you want to know what's going on with the center, we have a constant contact email. So email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. The hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll either take you right to the information you want, i.e. our soul session playlist. That click here in that thing takes you right to that playlist. And it's fantastic. Trust me. All kinds of good content there. And I would also, or it'll take you to the person that'll help you get the information. Sometimes like Zoom links, things like that. Okay. So please avail yourself of the content. We try and get good content out there that will help you think and open your heart. So, all right. Conversations with the universe. I believe I am at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a Friday, I get to go to the park tomorrow day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. I have said before and will continue to say, you are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark, a brilliant light, a spirit in motion, God in action. You are a godling. And you have everything you need within you. The source of your own being. Turn within and look. All right. So take care of yourself. always. All right. And know that the guidance that you seek is available all the time. We just got to be willing to hear it. Yep. Okay. Here's where I remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I should be back with you around 9 a.m. Yes, I do get to go to the park tomorrow. So, might set my alarm a little early. I'm going to have a very busy day tomorrow. But it's going to be a good one. So I'm all down for that. So, I will see you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.